Hey, what's going on, my Evercade with my name's Eve, keep on the channel, and today, I know it's been a hot minute since I've made an Evercade video. I've been talking about a lot about the Intellivision and Atari recently, but obviously I want to come back and make a video about the Evercade, because recently, Andy Bright, the head of Blaze Entertainment, has put out a statement, or not a statement, but like a letter to its fans, celebrating the new year of 2023, and something that's mentioned in the letter is currently they've got 11 cartridges scheduled for this year, and I want to go through my theories of what they are, what they could be, and who we could potentially see either come back on Evercade or actually show up for the first time on Evercade. Now, there's 11 cartridges, so I'm going to run through the see what I can say. So let's first of all look at the first cartridge we know is coming, Indie Heroes 2. That cartridge is already confirmed. It's coming out this month. That one's obviously, we know what games are on it because of Game of the Month. Games like Disco Worm Tape Puzzle, Disco Tapeworm. It's something Tapeworm Disco Puzzle, something like that. I can't remember what the exact title is. You know, you're also getting stuff like Era the Crow Maiden. There's a bunch of other great games on it. So that's one we know of. Another thing we know of is the fact that we're getting Amiga games this year on Evercade. So I can assume we're getting at least one or two cartridges with the Amiga license based with Amiga games. Whether we see certain developers or publishers from that, though, we don't know. But we can always hope. So that's about what 2-3 cartridges down. What else are we going to see? Well, I do think we'll see a C64 Part 2, a secondary collection for that system, because they kind of glossed over some of the golden games for that system with the first Evercade cartridge. So hopefully we'll get some bigger names and bigger titles for the second one. Then we got. I do feel, this is quite a personal thing, I do feel we will see a third cartridge this year. What do I mean with that? I mean, we'll see a third cartridge alongside, you know, as an already system publisher who's got multiple cards on the Evercade, those being companies like Pico Interactive or Megacat Studios. I personally feel we'll see both of those companies come out with a third cartridge this year. So that's what Indie Heroes 2, we'd have two Amiga, and at least one or two Amiga cartridges, C64 2, and the Pico Interactive Collection 3, which should include games hopefully like Glover, you know, alongside a bunch of other random stuff Pico owns, as well as Megacat Studios, who obviously would have stuff like ZPF and WrestleQuest, hopefully. So that's 6 cartridges out of the 11 that we know are coming this year. That I'm predicting, obviously, we already know Amiga and Indie Heroes are confirmed. We just don't know how many games in the, or how many cartridges in the Amiga line are confirmed, so there's that. So they're my first 6. I also feel like we could potentially, this is my big one, this is my big prediction, we will see Konami come to Evercade in 2023. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Konami owns a huge library of games, you know, games like Castlevania, Metal Gear, you know, I'm talking about the original games from the MSX and Nintendo Entertainment System, Contra, you know, Bonk from the PC Engine, you know, Bomberman. They own so many titles. Konami seems like an easy get for a console collection, but also an arcade collection. You know, we could see any number of games from Konami's library. So let's hope we get some good. So that's 7. I also feel like we're going to see another dual cart this year, another dual cart of 2 indie games that are released as one package. Now, what game do I feel like that'll be this year? Well, I do feel like we'll see Demons of Astonburg and Astro Bros as a single dual cart that we can collect and add to our collections. The reason being because obviously, basically with the dual carts are focused on high quality games, so hopefully we can get those games, which at least with Demons of Astonburg case, is a huge popular indie game, and it's really great to have on Evercade, right? So I've got to do 3 more predictions. Now, this next one, this might sound a bit weird, but I do feel like we'll probably see Capcom come to an Evercade cartridge. Now, this might sound a bit weird because there's a whole controversy about, well, the Capcom EXP collection is exclusive to the EXP. You can't get that on the VS or the original handheld, and I know that. But I feel like if the EXP has sold well enough and Capcom has seen enough money, enough revenue from licensing their games to Blaze, Capcom might be interested in doing a cartridge. Now, what games would be on that cartridge? I don't know, because if they don't use any of the ones that are already on the XP collection, that does limit some of their options, but they also have potential of using other lesser-known titles from their arcade catalogue, as well as their home console endeavours. So that one we'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. Now, my 10th one, this is my 10th prediction. This is going to be a big one. I feel like in 2023, we will if we don't get the actual cartridge this year, I will be disappointed. But I do feel like we will see Blaze announce a collection for the Sega Game Gear. Now, the Sega Game Gear would be, it's like my dream one to have on Evercade, because I already own a Game Gear, it's got a model screen and whatnot. But I'd like to play some of their games like Axe Battler, you know, or there's like Hedgehog games like Tails Adventure, or Spike Speed Dash, whatever. It'd just be so good. It'd just be so good to have these games on Evercade, you know, on a modern retro system that obviously can play these games with a backlit screen, who obviously have better battery lives, and who has obviously the TV capabilities of the VS. That'd be great. That'd be great to me. And the final cartridge I think we're going to see this year that we know of, right? This is a big one. I do feel like we will probably see a follow-up to something like the Atari Arcade collection or Technos Arcade. Obviously, we'll see either Technos Arcade, Data East Arcade, or Atari Arcade get a follow-up. One of those cartridges will get a follow-up, and there'll be 2 in those series. So far, when it comes to arcade cartridges, we've had 5 different developers. I think it's 5 different developers. No, should I look at my shelf? No, it's 7 developers, but technically speaking, we have 8 cartridges because one of them is obviously, well, that's obviously excluding the Ireme and Turboplane cartridges, which I do not already have, because I'm waiting for my limited edition EXP to show up rather than buy another one. Now, anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about these in the comments down below. Do you think any of these predictions make sense? Do you think they not make sense? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you need to, make sure you subscribe, like, share, leave your predictions in the comments down below. I challenge YouTubers like PK Universe, Evercade Effect, Evercanadian. I challenge all those guys to make their own versions of this video and let me know their thoughts. So, out of the video, I've been Evercade. Hope you enjoyed. I'm signing out. Peace.